Yo, 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 yo. This is Savs in 4 podcast. We are back again here with Dre from PG County. What's up, Dre? Dave, Esquire, always on the road making moves. We got Big T up in Charlotte repping it. We got BT joining us. We are here again to talk about some more NFL, some more hoops. And we're going to start off today with the NFL. Had an exciting slate of games. We're going to start and kick this conversation off with what happened that Saturday or Sunday night, excuse me. You had a marquee game. You had Eagles going into that game, I believe 10-2 going into that game, facing off against the Dallas Cowboys that were 9-3, big divisional game. All celebrities were there. You had some key important figures in Cowboys history there, packed stadium, and the Eagles, they kind of got stalled off of, got hit in the mouth early, couldn't quite recover. Dallas, I hate to say it, I'm not a Dallas fan. We will repeat that. Ain't many of us on, none of us on this pod are Dallas fans. It's been fuck Dallas for a minute, but they look good. 33-13 victory. Just to get it started off, anybody from the panel want to take it? Just what are your takeaways from what happened in Dallas? Is this going to affect the Eagles down the road losing this game as they try to get that one seed?
We all know what happened. They got that ass whooped. I mean, I mean, we can try to over evaluate what happened, but we're just gonna call what it is. Eagles. They actually not even before they lost to the San Francisco 49ers. We kind of see them been having issues the past month and some change now. They were just able to pull those games out against Kansas City and Buffalo Bills. But the things that people were concerned about since probably even like October are starting to manifest themselves now. Defense is still sus, and now the offense are not getting into the end zone. And so now the scores are what they were the past 2 weekends where pretty much Philly just been getting bullied. They got bullied by the 49ers in the trenches. They got bullied by the Dallas Cowboys in the trenches. Jalen Hurts is having a turnover problem as of late. Actually, all season, he has over 15 turnovers at this point. I know we get on Josh Allen a lot with his turnovers, but we got to look at Hurts as well. His turnovers does impact the game just as much as any other QB. So what I saw was, and it's fun going back to our friend of the show, Javon, when we had our episode about when the Eagles and the Ravens were leading their conferences, it all came down to execution. First three Eagle drives, fumble, two field goals. Dallas drives, all touchdowns. So, and that was pretty much the difference in the game. And from there on out, Dallas never looked back. Um, do I think Philly is still going to be a good team? Yeah, but they got some issues that they need to fix if they want to continue going forward. Um, Dallas just looked like the better team that night, but this happened last year, so I'm not trying to take too much stock in it. But it is what it is. Dallas got the win. Now they're number 2 in the NFC, but they got some tough games going forward between the Bills, Miami, while the Eagles got the easiest schedule. So the Eagles are not out of the race for the NFC East Division. But if we just gotta keep it real, Dallas probably is the second best team in the NFC right now. When we seen teams like the Eagles and the Detroit Lions seem like they tailing off at the wrong time towards the end of the season.
And that was the one point I was going to ask the panel is, does this propel Dallas to try to proclaim themselves as we had the conversation on the last episode, the 49ers, one of the best teams in the NFL, when we were discussing it on our NFL episode amongst ourselves. And we said that, on paper, the 49ers might be the most complete team. After you see the performance of the Cowboys, do they have a stake in claim to be considered one of the elite teams in the NFC? Because like you said, Dre, they are peaking, whereas the Lions and the Eagles are kind of faltering here, coming down the stretch of the season. We're now in the month of December. Want to kind of get your thoughts on that, Terence, Dave, BT. Where would you slide the Dallas Cowboys into that top 3 to 4 conversation in the NFC?
We'll say they're
So
three.
go ahead, T.
I'll say they're three. Like the Eagles had their hardest stretch of the season. They had to play. Um, I
Chiefs.
believe the Cowboys just came off a Thursday night game, so they had a mini bye while the Eagles had to play the 49ers and then to play the Cowboys back to back is brutal. Like, you know, two physical games back to back. And the Buffalo game was a taxing game as well. So that's three back to back tough games. And I think the game before that, they had Kansas City, if
Kansas
I'm not
City.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So this is like, it was right for the Cowboys to dominate this game. We talk about the NBA about schedule losses. This is like almost a schedule loss, in my opinion. Even though Dallas is playing well, Philadelphia is not. I'm still putting the Eagles at 2 just because they were in the Super Bowl last year. And we've seen Philadelphia win games they had to just win. They still have that championship medal, even though they're not playing their best. And they have an easy schedule down the stretch. We're going to see what Dallas is made of at the end of the season, starting on Sunday. I think they have Buffalo on Sunday, a desperate Buffalo Bills team that just came off of a big win in Kansas City. So, as of today, you can make an argument that Dallas is the second best team, but by the time the season's over, are they going to be the 2 seed or are they going to be the 5 seed? More likely, they're probably going to be the 5 seed. I see them slipping up down the stretch with some of the games they have on the schedule, and the road through the NFC will go through San Francisco. I'll pass it off to my boy Dave, but that's what I think about the situation.
Yeah. I think the Cowboys are the third best team in the NFC right now. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but they definitely helped the parlay last night. I picked them on our last episode, so I appreciate them for standing on business on Sunday. But I mean, the Cowboys are in this process right now of trying to prove themselves and getting rid of the stink of what they've been doing in the playoffs. Really, the last 3 years of losing in the wild card and losing to the 49ers, I think either all 3 times or 2 of the last 3 times they've been in the playoffs. So they're in the process right now in their schedule of proving that. So we saw them play teams that were below 500. I think they had a span of like 3 or 4 weeks of that where, they got on a roll and Dak looked like Dak was, throwing over 300 yards a game and all that stuff. And they had a chance to play a formidable opponent again, divisional opponent in the Eagles. So, okay, great. You passed this test. Now you have to go to Buffalo, which is not an easy place to play, and you're playing in December. And in recent history, the Cowboys have not performed all that well in December in most years over the last 5 to 10 years. So it's going to be interesting to see them go to Buffalo and then go to Miami after that play and see how that defense holds up against one of the best offenses in Miami. So I think they're in the process of proving themselves as far as whether they can be an elite team and whether they can actually be a Super Bowl contender this year.
Yeah, I feel you on that one, Dave.
What you think about it, BT?
I got an interesting question for BT as we wrap up this topic. We saw last night, we're going to talk about the Monday night games. Tariq Hill, his, ankle got rolled up on. He was in the MVP conversation. Brock Purdy, had a good game. Again, Mahomes has been kind of up and down with his receivers dropping balls and stuff like that. Is there a crazy tale world where we're actually considering Dakota Prescott as an MVP candidate going forward the rest of this year?
Man, I mean, right now, if I'm being honest, you have to put him number 1, bro. Like I was watching on Sunday, and I'm like, damn, that's that. Like he really surprised me that game, bro. 'Cause he was making throws. I was like, oh snap! Like he really throwing some dots out there, bro. So I mean, I gotta give it to him right now. We ain't no Cowboy fans up here. You know what I'm saying? But we keep it a stat. You know what I'm saying? and it's between him and Brock Purdy. To be honest with you, I would say Lamar Jackson. I would say Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson, but I know the media wants to give it to
Transition
Brock Purdy. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that shit
But
just blow me because
but
because BT's right, and the only reason why I disagree with BT because Dak probably is. I say Dak's top two, and the only reason he's not number one because he lost a head to head to Brock Purdy, and they got smacked when they played the 49ers. So like they end up with like even records
yep,
or like around there, they're gonna give that joint smooth to
Mhm.
Brock Purdy, and it's
They
easy.
are.
because they don't want to give it to Christian McCaffrey, who's to me still the real MVP of that team. Because without that run
Facts.
game, without that old line, Brock Purdy's not able to do what he's doing. And we're gonna keep it at that because like Jeff Saturday, he's saying some wild shit like, well, Peyton Manning surrounded himself with great players and everything. But Peyton Manning was able to throw it down the field. Like he threw darts down the field. Like past 2 weeks, all Deebo Samuels was doing was catching it off 5 yard routes and taking it to the house.
Yep.
Like I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I'm sorry.
they,
That's more on Debo's skill more than Brock Purdy. That's more on Brandon Ayuk's
yep,
skill more than Brock Purdy. That's more on
George
Kittle
Kittle,
and
and
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey.
Then
McCaffrey.
like if we talking about from a QB standpoint, Dak's been playing better QB ball than Brock Purdy. But
Facts. So,
to me,
speak, speaking of which, my bad, bro. But speaking
no,
of
go
which,
ahead. Go.
it's this 49ers fan at my job, right? I be telling this nigga, bro, if you watch the 49ers game, Brock Purdy is throwing to wide open niggas, bro. Like, show me a throw where he throws that bitch into coverage or whatever. Niggas is wide open. Or, like you said, it's the yak. You outside to the
Yep.
catch, bro. You know what I'm saying? I have yet to see this man throw, like, a dart in between coverage. But,
Do you think
It's
that if
looking
you
you
pick
know,
any other
it's looking
quarterback in the league,
very
like the
Bo
worst
Nixon.
quarterback possible, do you think if you
facts.
dropped him in the 49ers system, he would automatically be in the MVP conversation? Like if you took Mike White, who everybody threw away to the trash, and you dropped him in the 49ers organization right now, gave him 2 weeks to learn the offense, does
I want
Mike
to say
White be in
all
the
that.
MVP conversation?
I
I
wouldn't say
would.
that either.
I
I don't know
want to
about
say
that.
all that. Like Brock Purdy has some type of skill set because
He
remember
do.
he beat out Jimmy G, who took his team to a Super Bowl, and he beat out Trey Lance, a person that the 49ers traded up to get and got
Yeah.
and
Yep.
sent two of them out packing. But at the same time, you just gotta watch the film. Like I seen Lamar
Yeah.
throw more darts than Purdy. I seen Dak do it more. I seen Jalen Hurts doing more. I can go through a list of QBs that I seen have more precision passing than Brock Purdy. But Brock Purdy just has the perfect, like he literally, you got a top three tight end, you got
Yep.
nasty ass wide receiving core, and you pretty much can say he got the best running back in the
Got the best
league.
running back.
Yeah.
And
And
then
it's the
your online stat, and then on top of that, you can say you got a top three defense. Like you got
defense.
Mm-hmm.
everything you need
Yep.
right now.
Everything.
And it's the perfect story, dog, because he the last pick of the draft.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's
Right.
Mr.
It's the
Irrelevant.
perfect it's the perfect storm, dog. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? He fell into the perfect situation.
Yep.
He did.
But
Dave, you
then,
were going to
but
say
then you
something? I'm
gotta look
sorry.
at Tyree. But then you gotta look at Tyree Hill and Christian McCaffrey. It's like, look what they're doing for their teams, and look what happens when they're
Exactly.
not at 100%. So like, I just we just gotta start giving it to the QBs all the damn time. It's called an
Yeah.
MVP, not the QB award. It's called an
Thank
MVP,
you.
most valuable
I mean,
player.
Facts.
you saw the real Brock Purdy on Monday Night Football when they played the Minnesota Vikings. When they didn't have Debo, when they didn't have McCaffrey, when they didn't have Trent Williams. I think who else was missing from that game? Was George
Trent
Pickens?
Williams, the offensive tackle,
Yeah, you
he was
saw the
out.
real Brock Purdy, and that's fine. I mean, there are a lot of quarterbacks, there are a lot of guys that just fall into the right situation, fall
Situation.
into the
Yep.
right
And that's
system, and it works. Like man, when I bring up this comparison, I'm not comparing Brock Purdy to this person, but when Tom Brady first started his first actual year that he played a football game in the NFL, he was surrounded by some really good players, and then
I think on defense.
over time he was surrounded by a really good defense too. But over
Facts.
time, by the
Mhm.
time he got to like his 8th year, like his 9th year in the league, 10th year in the league, 11th year in the league, he was able to make other players better. I don't know. I'm not saying that'll be the same thing for Brock Purdy, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason why Brock Purdy was drafted in the 7th round. He's not like he has talent, but he's not an elite talent. He's able to manage the game better than what Jimmy G was able to do, or he beat out Trey Lance as Dre said, and that's fine. If that works for you, you play. The 49ers are playing to their strengths, and that's really all you need to do.
Yep.
Right now, T, real quick, I'm gonna let you have the last before we move on to the game, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Bills game. If right now you had to pick Brock Purdy, Tommy DeVito, who you picking as better quarterback play? Forget team, better quarterback play. Tommy DeVito or Brock Purdy?
Tommy DeVito? Go ahead, T. Who you got, dog?
Who you got right now? I'm not talking about team, I'm talking about just quarterback play.
Hey, bro, you a troll for asking T this question, bro.
You is a troll for that. You is a troll for that, son.
You know what, bro? These pineapples are good, dog.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that, Bo. Don't do that.
Hey, bro.
No, on the real though, I'll take Brock Purdy, man. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a couple games of Tommy DeVito. He played well last night. Shout out to his shiesty mobster agent. Hopefully they don't hear this and send the mafia my way.
Hey.
I know, man.
Send the mafia my way, man.
I know. We already lost one appeal. We can't take no more else on the appeals, man.
Exactly. We already got one appeal lost.
Hey, I'm gonna say this.
I mean, if we're talking Tommy DeVito or Daniel Jones, that's gonna be an interesting question.
Hey, I'm saying right now, Tommy DeVito.
Oh, Lord. Tommy DeVito?
The way he was making throwing plays last night. Tommy DeVito.
Hey,
I saw him make plays.
I
saw him make plays that Daniel Jones couldn't do. I saw him make plays that Daniel Jones couldn't do. At least he couldn't do consistently.
It's tough out here, I'm telling you.
The Giants, they rallied around dude. We've never seen the Giants rally around Daniel Jones like that.
Hey, Saquon Barkley.
You're honest,
Tommy,
they haven't.
Hey, Saquon Barkley be calling him Tommy Cutlets, bro.
Exactly.
Oh, come on, bro.
Hey, they both from Jersey too. Yeah. Yeah.
I see the agenda.
Y'all petty, boy. The petty I like, though.
Yeah.
The fix is in for Tommy DeVito, bro. When I saw the family in the stands going crazy doing this, whoever, I don't know if that's his agent or not, but he was iced out in the all black. Look,
Man, the mafia, bro.
Real life.
Man.
Tommy fucking DeVito, man.
That shit remind me of The Sopranos, bro. That shit.
Like you just knew that he was fixing that game when he was on that phone call, when the NFL called him on that phone, bro. He was already talking about we going against the spread tonight, fellas. Here we go.
Hey man, anything's better than watching Panthers football.
Oh God,
man, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Let's not go there.
Brad, go to the next topic, bro.
Yeah, but real life,
next topic,
nigga.
So
I have no idea who the Panthers play on Sunday, bro. I have no idea.
Me neither, bro.
It wasn't until Saturday night. I was like, oh, who the Panthers play? Oh, we play the Saints. Oh,
boy, that was a mid-off, bro.
Bro, let me tell you, bro. I used to didn't miss the Panthers game, bro. I'll be in the gym when the Panthers play, bro. So I'll have to watch that game, dog. I'll be in the gym. Like, nah, I'm not watching.
You know how bad that game was, bro. Bryce Young was like 9 of 23 or 13 of 36, right? At one point, Derek Carr completed 14 passes for a grand total of 37 yards.
Oh,
good. That was good background noise for a nap. And for the Panthers, if you actually want to go to the game in the rain on Sunday, you don't got to pay $5 to get in the building.
Exactly.
It's that bad now.
I'm glad the Panthers say on local TV here, bro.
So you saying y'all selling cookout trade tickets, T? That's what y'all saying?
Man,
that's a 4 for 4. That's a 4 for 4, son.
That's cheaper than cookout trade tickets. Shit.
Interesting.
That's a 4 for 4.
That's a biggie bag, bro.
Funny how things turn out, huh, T? Funny how things turn out, huh, T? Welcome to my hell. Yeah. It sucks down here, doesn't it? Yeah.
Hey, bro. Hey, relax, bro. Relax. Relax.
If David Tepper running some full that we can try to dig up. What allegations can we dig up?
David Tepper's just a bald Dan Snyder, bro.
Exactly. I wish Corey was here because he would tell his wife to stay in the kitchen, but we go keep it moving.
Yeah, let's keep it moving.
The 4 o'clock game was a very interesting game. We had two teams that have seen each other a couple of different times in the playoffs, big time regular season game. Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. It was a very good game throughout. Came down to the last drive, as we know, the now infamous, offsides by the receiver for Kansas City after an amazing play where Mahomes got it to his favorite target in Kelsey, and Kelsey did a backwards lateral, and the receiver scored. So, fellas, what is your takeaway from this game? And are the receiver problems and issues continuing to plague these slow Kansas City starts, and as it's starting to whittle a little bit with the dynasty they've created within Kansas City and Pat Mahomes and the boys?
Man, we said it before the season, bruh. The receiver was going to be an issue for them. Because all you got to do is bracket Kelsey, dog. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to, what's the receiver name? Is it Rice? Or whatever?
Yeah.
Something with an R.
Shaheed
He
Rice.
balling, bro.
Rice.
Yeah.
Shaheed
Rashad
Rice.
Rice. He balling. You know what I'm saying? But you need more than two receivers, dude. They got Rice
Yeah.
and they got Kelsey, bro. All you got to do is bracket one of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely putting the hindrance to their offense, dog. Because this is not a Pat Mahomes or a Kansas City Chief offense that we're looking at right now.
Exactly. Dre, go ahead.
Kansas City just need to stop crying, first of all. Like, yelling at the refs and yelling at everybody else. Yell at your receiver, bro. Like, this is
Yep.
like the second or third game. You can literally point to one wide receiver why you ain't winning the game and everything. Like, he's
Yep.
not lined up. Like, you're a wide receiver. Your main job is to know where you at, where the ball is at. So, like, why you not yelling at him? Like,
That's what I said. I said the same thing. Like,
so
yell at him, bro.
like Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes, they talking about the rest this and the rest that. So basically, what you're saying is you're mad because the rest didn't tell him that he was offside. But then, if you look at the play again, you had a person that had a illegal shift. So now you're complaining and saying that y'all should have got a penalty, but a different type of penalty. So now so basically y'all just mad because y'all didn't execute. Just say that y'all didn't do enough to and execute it instead of trying to throw blame and everything else like that. I know y'all still upset about the Green Bay game. I know y'all still upset how I lost to Detroit. But at the end of the day, y'all just need to man up. And Pat Mahomes might do. Everybody knows I love Pat Mahomes. But at the end of the day, y'all just gotta man up and actually look at yourselves more than the rest. Because last year y'all was still lights out and getting points on the board. Now y'all just not doing the same thing this year. And it's because the wide receivers haven't stepped up. So how about y'all look inside your own organization before you start pointing fingers at the zebras and get the job done? Because we always say, if you do your job, you don't worry about those calls.
Hey,
That is a
so
fact.
so with that being said, I'm gonna take a different angle on this because obviously there have been a million opinions on this play in the last 2 days, right? So
Mm-hmm.
y'all see how Kadarius Toney's lined up right here, right? And when I first on first reaction of this, I was like, okay, like why are Mahomes and Andy Reid like so mad about this when he's clearly offsides? And at first I thought Kadarius Toney didn't really like check, and apparently he hadn't been checking all game or didn't really check with the ref to see if like whether he's like on the ball or covering the ball or not. And like based on like the analysis from like former NFL players talking about what actually happens like when you line up on the line of scrimmage and whether you're lined up on the outside closer to like the when you're lined up on the outside as a wide receiver, how you do like you point to the ref or like
Yeah, you point to the ref, be like, am I on the line?
am I good or they'll be like, oh yeah, like scoot back a little bit because they're like in earshot of you, right? They can talk to you when you're like out there, right? But where like so the Chiefs are lined up in like this bunch split formation, right? Where Kadarius Toney is not able to like he's only able to signal to the ref. He's not able to actually talk to the ref and see like, okay, am I on the ball or not? So at this play, I'm like, okay, obviously it's Kadarius's fault because he's the one that ruined this play because he lined up offside, and he's obviously offside. He's obviously to blame. But after reviewing this and kind of like looking over analysis and some of the things that have happened in this game, Kadarius was actually lined up like this a few times during the game, and I think that the refs have something to blame with this as well, because he lined up like this 3 or 4 times prior to this moment.
I
And
saw that.
But Dave, not to cut you off, but let's be real. If they didn't score on that exact play, are we even talking about this? Is this even a discussion? The reason Kansas City is so mad because they took a miraculous play from Travis Kelce off the board in front of his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. So
I
like
get you on that. I get you on that. But what I'm
There's
saying
no
is that
consistency with the officiating.
there's no consistency with the officiating,
but we
because
see that all the time. We
if
see
you
that all the
watch,
time in all the games. We
and
see that all the time, all the games.
if this was not a scoring play, then we wouldn't be talking about it, right? If this wasn't like one of the best like plays that we had ever seen, we wouldn't be talking about it. But what I'm looking at it at this point of view, in which Kadarius probably thinks, "Hey, I'm good because I lined up like this, and they ain't call it all game until now." And so I mean, they kind of have like the Chiefs kind of have a right to be mad, maybe, because I think actually Mahomes
No,
knows.
no,
Mahomes
cause I'm gonna go
knows
to your point. I'm gonna go. Oh, how about this? How about all the times we see the left tackle always leaving early before the snap, and sometimes they don't call it, and sometimes they
they
do call it.
don't
So,
call false
so,
start. Yeah,
so now, is everybody gonna cry baby about that too, or are you just gonna let it rock? Because at the end of the day, everybody's crying, or people are crying about this one particular play because it took Travis Kelce Hall of Fame type highlight play off the board. Point blank, period. Because if Kadarius Tourney was being a true wide receiver, he should have been looking at the refs all game.
he should have. He
Point
should
blank,
have been.
point
He
blank,
should.
period.
He should have been. And also,
If Kansas City
Mahomes.
was up 24-20, this is not
There,
an issue. If Kansas City
so
was up 30-20, this is not an issue.
so
Why didn't
I'm
they
yeah.
why didn't they stop Buffalo from scoring earlier in the game? Let's talk about that. Again, they put themselves in this position. So you
Yeah,
can't
they
cry
did.
because how many times we saw Kansas City win games when they had calls go for them and not for the other team. So now it looks like it just reversed on this time on their behalf. So I'm not like I understand what you're trying to say today, but I'm sorry. Like cry to your mama, Mahomes. Cry to your wife, Mahomes. Cry to your kids, Mahomes. But don't cry to these refs. It wasn't your day. It just
Yeah.
wasn't your day.
So I'm saying it like I'm bringing that up as a different angle, because there's
How come you
inconsistency.
ain't mention Mahomes' turnover though? He had a turnover too in that game. How come
He did.
we
He
got
did.
we got to incorporate that?
He did.
So look,
He did. But
The Chiefs have
I'm
more to
not letting
blame
the
for
Chiefs off the
themselves
hook,
than the
though.
refs.
I'm not letting the Chiefs off the hook, though. I'm not letting the Chiefs off the hook, because even if Kadarius was lining up all like that all game long and they weren't calling it, yeah, the refs have some blame on it. But Mahomes could have easily said, "Hey, like back up, bro," so they don't call that. Like someone could have hey, back up, bro. Like someone obviously could have called, like could have helped them out, like to not cover the ball like that on the line of scrimmage. So the Chiefs do have some. I'm not letting the Chiefs off the hook. I'm not letting the Chiefs off the hook. But I'm looking at it from different perspectives, because at first I'm like, yeah, Kadarius Toney like is wrong for lining up offsides. Like a call that you don't like. I've heard like false starts on receivers, like um holding all
Illegal
this other stuff.
formation.
I never heard offsides on a wide receiver. I mean, obviously, like the refs may not like are not going to help you with that. Just like when you're on when you're a defensive lineman, they're not going to help you out if you're in the neutral zone. So I get it. I get it. So I'm just kind of like I'm kind of dividing up the blame here a little bit, because the refs have something to do with this too now. Because you let that go 3-4 times, and Kadarius probably thinks I'm good, but then the Chiefs also didn't help themselves with turnovers in the game, putting themselves in that position, not executing on certain drives. They put themselves in that position to have a play like that or be in that circumstance. So I'm not letting the Chiefs out the hook at all. But I'm just like, everyone has a piece of the blame here.
To your thoughts.
Dre pretty much hit every nail. I mean, the NFL has an officiating problem. It's been bad all year. Kadarius Toney's as a wide receiver, as someone who played wide receiver, you always make sure to look at the ref and say, "Am I on the line?" If you know you're supposed to be on the line or whether you're supposed to be off the line, you always check with the official. So that was just a fundamental flaw on Tony's part. Um, Kansas City had their opportunities, but they didn't make enough plays. Rasheed Rice had a fumble in the game that was costly. Kansas City's defense going to get stops at um, key points in the game. So, I mean, really, we saw the Miami Dolphins lose last night. I mean, you get to another topic, but I mean, if you're at Baltimore, I'm like, it's now or never, man. Like, they won overtime versus the Rams. Rams are desperate for a win. They're trying to get in the wild card because the NFC is a minute off. But the Ravens were able to pull it out. But if you're Baltimore, like if you can't get at least to the AFC Championship game, it's never going to happen, man. Joe Burrow's not going to be out for the season every season. The Jaguars have injury issues. Pittsburgh has no offense. Cleveland's trotting out Joe Flacco. There's some other contenders. Houston, Stroud got concussed. So, I mean, all potential threats are struggling.
Yeah.
So if you're the Ravens, if you can't at least get to the AFC Championship game, because you're probably going to have home field, so you just got to win one home game to get the AFC Championship game in your crib. If not now, then when? Because the quarterback position in the AFC right now is bad. It's a lot of backups.
Yeah,
it's a lot of guys that are out on the AFC. So I mean, it's literally laid out for Baltimore to get to the Super Bowl.
It is. Excuse me.
I will say that Ravens versus 49ers game is going to decide two conferences, not just one. That's going to be the game that decide the whole NFL landscape when it comes to the playoff scenario. Because whoever wins that game should have the inside track for that number one seed. So it's really going to be interesting to see how that goes down.
Yeah.
Yep. That's one of the big games. Is that game is going to decide to both sides of the title picture or the potential playoff picture for both conferences, as Dre said, definitely. So yeah, T kind of brought it up. The craziness that happened yesterday on Monday night. You had Miami, so a lot of people picked to kind of come in. They're playing at home. Tennessee kind of limping in. They're starting a rookie in Will Levis. They should have their way with them. And then within the first series, you see a tackle on Tariq. Guy kind of drop tackles him, or what they were discussing the other week with the dropping the hips and kind of rolled on his ankle. He has to leave the game. Waddle took a big hit early as well. So Miami was getting a little bit banged up, but they kind of took control halfway through. But we kind of saw this crazy comeback of Tennessee Titan weird mistakes. Rookie tries to build a punt return. He fumbles. They score. They go up. And then Will Levis makes a crucial mistake trying to pitch back to Derrick Henry. Pitches high and to the right behind Henry. It fumbles. They go back and score again with Mozart. And then all of a sudden, Tennessee turns it on. They go right down the field. Boom, boom, boom. They score a touchdown. Then Miami gets the ball back inexplicably. No Tariq on the field as he had been on the field earlier. And then all of a sudden, they go 3 and out. And then we kind of know the result. Will Levis leads them down the field. They do leave time for Miami, but then a sack ultimately ends the game. So does this kind of hurt Miami's chances of getting the 1 seed or being that top team? As we just discussed, Baltimore's path should be to a Super Bowl or bust this year with the massive contract that Lamar had got. Does this kind of hurt what Miami was trying to accomplish by getting that 1 seed, taking advantage of, some teams losing and some teams faltering? Did this kind of hurt Miami with dropping this game inexplicably at home to a Titans team? They had no business letting them win this game.
It does, because they didn't Well, they took a step back from being able to be in a position to take control of the AFC or still be like lock in step with the Ravens, because now you got to play the Jets. I mean, they're not going to be able to put up a lot of points, like depending on what type of Zach Wilson you get, but the Jets defense is still a good defense that you have to play. So, like that's going to be difficult. You have to play Dallas as well, and like their schedule is not the easiest moving forward. So they put themselves in a position to. They're not putting. They haven't that win a win that you're really supposed to get, a game that you're really supposed to win. They didn't do themselves any favors on Monday night.
I definitely agree. Trey, Terence, BT, any thoughts on, Miami's kind of, are they out of the running for the number one overall seed in the AFC? Are they, kind of now looking at just hoping to get one of those top 4 seeds and the top 2 to 4 and having to play in that wild card round?
Did Hill come back in the game?
He did. He did came back. Yeah. He made some big plays. Me and Dave were talking before the pod. Tua threw him a dime on the sideline with an incredible toe tap. So he looked okay enough to come back in. It was just inexplicable on that last drive. He wasn't in the game.
Yeah, he wasn't on. He didn't play much in the fourth quarter.
So the Dolphins' chances for the number 1 seed hinges on Hill's health. And I gotta look at their remaining schedule too, just to see who they play and who the Ravens play.
They play the Jets at home next week. Then they play the Cowboys at home again. Then they on the road to Baltimore, and then the last game is at home against the Bills. So and the Baltimore game against the Bills could very much be AFC North implications, playoff spot implications.
Yeah.
So and all these last 4 games, none of them are easy. I mean, obviously you should beat the Jets, but it's the Jets defense, right? Like the Jets defense can at least win you 1 game. So yeah, they help themselves out.
Yeah, I mean, they got to hope that somewhere the Ravens falter. As you said, BT, the Ravens schedule, they're at Jaguars this week. The big game that Dre brought up with the 49ers is next week, the week of Christmas. It's on Christmas Day on ABC. That's the big game that's going to decide a lot of stuff. Then they have to come back and play the Dolphins, as Dave just mentioned, and then they end the year in a divisional rivalry game versus the Steelers. So,
both of them got some tough schedules.
Yeah, both of them have tricky games, divisional games, other conference games that they're going to have to navigate to get that 1 seed on the AFC side.
All I'm going to say is we're going to see who built for it. That's all I'm going to say. Because all these are number 1 seed type playoff games right here, or regular season games right here. So if you want a number 1 seed, you win these games, man. I'm going for the Ravens. I hope they get it because, Odell Beckham, Lamar, you know what I'm saying? I want Lamar to get one. You know what I'm saying? So I hope they get it, but right now I can't call it, Bo.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I just gotta see how Tyreek Hill plays going forward.
Yep.
I mean, the biggest thing, it just kind of sucks now that I don't think he's going to get that 2,000-yard receiving anymore. So
yeah,
unless somehow he gets like another 150 plus 200-yard game, maybe got another one left of him. But outside of that, I just don't see it. But I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I feel like what they showed me something when they beat the Rams. I know the Rams record don't speak to really nothing, but that was a game that we saw a year that the Ravens somehow always lose. But the fact that Lamar came down and got a touchdown drive, and yes, the Rams came back and kick a field goal, but then Lamar took him down and scored again with a nice touch pass. So like, I mean, it was a kick return, but still like the Ravens did what they had to do to make sure they was able to still go and win that game. So I gotta give them a lot of credit, and I'm kind of seeing while other teams are trending down, Ravens are kind of one of those teams that are trending up. So right now, I'm gonna give it to the Ravens.
To speak on your point, Dre, about Tyreek, he would need to average 115 the last 4 games to hit 2,000. He is at 15-42 right now. He would need to
It's
get
doable.
115 every game. It's doable.
You said
With his
115?
talent, 115. It's 114.5 is what he'll need to get to 2,000. So it's doable. He needs to average that the next 4 games. So it is doable.
Yep.
But he's got to be healthy, and his health is in question
Yep.
right now. So we're going to move away from football and move into something that's not in the question. We're going to move over to the NBA. Hoops never die. BT is smiling because we had the finals of the in-season tournament. And
His boy got the chip. That's why he's smiling.
I mean, LeBron James and Anthony Davis and the Los Angeles Lakers took on the Pacers and beat them in the in-season tournament finals convincingly, winning the inaugural NBA Cup. Just want to get your guys' thoughts on overall how that game went. What was your overall thoughts of the whole entire inaugural tournament this year, in-season tournament? I know we spoke on it last pod. Now that it's over, kind of your overall thoughts. And, LeBron did end up winning the in-season tournament MVP award as well. Another trophy to go on his mantle of all his accolades that he's had over his career. So what are your just overall general thoughts of how the in-season tournament went? And, where did they go from here? There are rumors that now next year they might even put even more stakes. They're talking about guaranteed playoff spots, guaranteed spots in the lottery, all types of things going off, more incentives. There's a lot of stuff going on how to make it better. So, what are your final thoughts, and what would you do to maybe impact or make the in-season tournament even better than what it was this year?
I want to put a playoff spot in it, man, because a team could win the in-season tournament and not give a damn about the rest of the season, but their playoff spot's already locked up. So that's problematic because you did the in-season tournament to add more juice to the regular season. So a playoff spot, team can just be like, all right, we're in the playoffs regardless. We can,
coast.
Yep. Low manage, do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you could have more money, but I mean, I think what they have right now, outside a little bit more money and better courts, some of those courts are awful. But outside of that, I mean, I wouldn't really change too much. I want to do a playoff spot, man, because maybe a play-in tournament spot, but not a playoff spot.
7 seed.
I wouldn't do a 7 seed because that's a home game. That means you get two. That means you get 2 chances to basically get 2 home games to get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
a team that has a better regular season get hold. A team that actually has a better regular season will get hold in that situation.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think playoffs should be a part of it at all. Like, the in-season tournament is what it is. It's an in-season tournament and shouldn't have any implication on what's going on in the playoffs. This was just something to have people more interested in the NBA in the months of November and December. It did its job. Let's not overthink it. Like, maybe more money. The only thing I would love to see is, since we would know like the 8 teams, I would think, how about instead of waiting into the semifinal, let's get all 8 teams to Vegas, and instead of doing East versus West, let's just do 1 through 8 by the point spread and everything, so you can have East versus West teams throughout the whole tournament instead of waiting until the finals to do it. I think it'll make it more interesting. Or even if you want to do East versus West and still do like home court event and stuff like that, because with the amount of time you had laid off with traveling, because the games ended on Friday and then the first in-season tournament quarterfinals game was like on a Tuesday. So if you do it like that, that's still enough time for teams to travel and practice to get acclimated to wherever they at. Because at the end of the day, like if a team like Memphis was in the in-season tournament and had to go against like the Lakers, they still would have to travel far away. Even though Memphis is a West Coast team, they're located on the East Coast. So, like, I don't think that it should matter. I think just do 1 through 8, like we always wanted for the playoffs. But since we can't do it, let's just do that for the in-season tournament.
Just to add a point to that, the reason why it's East versus West is for scheduling purposes. Because if I was a fan of a team if I'm in the East, I'm a fan of a team that comes in the West, and they only come one time a year, and that game gets moved to Vegas instead of, let's say, in Charlotte, as a fan, I'll be pissed off.
True.
That's why they do the East West, because there's more games. When you're doing East West, you play a team in your conference, at least a guaranteed 3 times. Most of the time it's 4. So you're still able to see that team or player versus where if we do 1 through 8 and I pay, let's say if I'm a fan and I can only go to one NBA game a year and it's a team from the other conference and then they end up playing in Vegas and I don't have that opportunity, that'll piss me off. It'll become a scheduling issue. That's why they do East versus West. Because it becomes a whole thing with the schedule, in my opinion. I mean, I would like it to be 1 through 8, but logistically, it'll be an issue, and that's why they do the East versus West thing.
So the Pacers only going to have to play the Lakers one more time since they saw each other in the championship game.
No, twice, because the championship game doesn't count as a regular season game, so they're going to play the Lakers twice.
Okay, so how come we can't just add an extra game then? Because you pretty much remove because regardless, you play.
I understand what you're saying, tournament. You're talking about injury risk. It's a risk of injuries.
This season tournament is an injury risk. All these games are injury risk. When you step in that court, it's always a risk. You can't avoid it. So.
Yeah, we saw LeBron somewhat roll his ankle in one of the in-season tournament games, and people held their breath like, "Wait a minute," like. But he came back. So, like Dre said it best, it's always a risk when you hit the court. You never know who's going to, what fluke play might happen. I was going to mention, take a cue. I don't know if they still do it. And Dre and Dave and, BT, y'all follow kind of, baseball kind of like I do. For the All-Star game, they have it where whoever wins hits home field advantage in the World Series. Do you think they need to do that? For the in-season tournament, for the finals,
No,
whoever wins
hell
this
no.
tournament.
I'll say no.
No, and I don't again. Nothing in the in-season tournament should be impacting your playoffs.
The playoff spots,
We playing 82 plus games, and you telling me within the first 20 games we already got seeding, we already got home court, and all that joint settled. Then what's the point of me playing the rest of the season? At that point, I'm gonna check out.
Exactly, bro. I'm gonna chill.
Yeah.
I'm already in the playoffs. I'm chilling. I agree wholeheartedly.
You're already in the playoffs, and it's like not even halfway through December yet, and you still got like 4 months of basketball. Like you're not going to take it seriously,
Yeah.
So
Nope.
The in-season tournament should just stick to what it is. The in-season tournament.
What it is.
Like in European soccer. In-season tournaments are just in-season tournaments. The only one
I was going to ask that
is
too.
the only one is different or done differently is Champions League. And in Champions League, not all the same teams are there every single year. The teams that are in Champions League are the ones that win their actual league the year before. That's the only reason they're there.
Oh yeah.
But I'll take the English Premier League for example because I follow. That's that's the main league I follow in Europe. So they have the Football Association Cup, an in-season tournament. They have the Carabao Cup, which used to be the Capital One Cup. That's an in-season tournament. There's only like 4, maybe 5, 6, 7 teams from that league out of 20 that are in Champions League usually. Or no, there's only 4 because it's only the top 4 of the previous year that are in Champions League. And then you have, I think there's another. Those may be the only 3. There might be another one, but I'm not sure. But in-season tournaments are just in-season tournaments, and a lot of the teams they don't take those tournaments seriously unless it's like the FA Cup.
I'm sorry, Dave. I know you're getting your joke, but these courts are ugly as hell in these highlights, man. Yeah, I'm with you. Get rid of these damn courts, man. These things are ugly.
Yeah, the court.
My point atrocious. Is, it shouldn't affect anything else. It shouldn't affect anything else that goes on in an NBA season. I think that so the only time that an East team played a West team was in the championship game, right? So so the Pacers and Lakers will still have 2 games.
They
right?
still have to meet each other twice during the regular
season.
Still have
because
Like to the point
Yeah,
that you
because
were
the
talking
championship
about
game is the only game that.
that
Yeah, because the
doesn't count.
championship game is the only game that doesn't count towards your record, but the
Yeah.
Yeah,
semifinal games count. Which that's what I'm saying. That, like, there's a whole logistical thing they're gonna have to figure out if they're gonna if you want to do like Drew suggested, you have to figure out a whole logistical thing, and then the players are going to have to agree to it, and the owners are going to have to agree to it. So there's a lot of tweaks that they can do, but it's really going to be up to the players and the coaches and the owners about what they want to do. I say keep it as is, just get better
yeah.
courts, and also like
But
having the game on at 5 o'clock on a Thursday. I personally
nah,
didn't
that,
mind, but I
that
know for a lot of people, I know for a lot of
no,
people who actually, depending on your work situation, they can't. You're commuting and you can't watch the game at 5 o'clock.
yeah.
Yeah, I would have changed that.
So
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess like they're playing on this like both of those games are on the same court, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's why
yeah,
Yep.
because
Yeah.
Yeah,
because remember after that game the it was supposed to start at 9, but the second game didn't start till like 9:30 because you gotta change the
Yeah.
arena, you gotta change people out that pay tickets and everything. You gotta do your pregame.
Hmm.
The other two teams need time to warm up, and all that just takes time. So I
yeah,
understand why they did the
Exactly.
5 and 9 o'clock, but maybe that's another thing they could change. But yeah,
And
I
I think it
mean,
may have to do with the Vegas crowd too. At 5 o'clock, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So,
yeah, but
like the
some of
Vegas crowd, it's like a matinee game.
it's gonna be some compromises. It's like not that everybody get everything they kind
Hmm.
of want out of this tournament, no, but as much as we give Silver Flag, was it a success? To me, it was. It was good to see like high intensity basketball this early in the season. So we give it because I won't
Yeah,
call it Game 7, but the finals did kind of remind me like a Game 3, Game 5. Like teams made a adjustment,
it
like
did.
like the way they guarded Halliburton from jump. Like that's what kind of gave me like that
Hmm.
Game 3, Game 5 vibe. Like somebody was trying to take the lead in the series type of game. Not like this is the all be all game and everything. So it was just fun to watch. Um,
yeah,
Pacers got what they want out of it. They got more exposure. Halliburton is literally growing into a superstar in front of our eyes and everything. But we saw the
Yeah.
weakness. We saw their weaknesses, like when they not in that up the tempo, running up and down the court type of game. They can get into some trouble. It was good to see that, like outside Halliburton, they'd step up because they did make it a close game until it was pretty much over in that fourth quarter. But they did make it interesting. So
Hmm.
Pacers gonna be a fun team to watch for sure.
They
Yep.
are.
yeah.
Hey, yo,
Um.
when Dante Exum get back into the league, bro? Cause he is killing the
This year,
Lakers right now.
this year,
This year,
yeah, yeah,
yo,
yeah,
Oh
this
this
wow.
year,
nigga cooking the Lakers.
yeah.
Speaking of
That
the
was a good
Lakers, I
pickup for
wanted
the
to bring this.
Mavericks, though. That was
I
a good
wanted to
pickup.
Yeah.
bring this up on the pod. I wanted to get everybody's opinion, but I especially wanted to get BT's opinion because the big topic today is that it got announced that they're going to hang an in-season tournament banner in Staples Center for the Lakers. Now,
oh
it's been
boy,
aired multiple times. I've seen the Kobe, rest in peace to the Black Mamba. I've seen his comment he had made in an interview about the only banners we hang, for his organization hangs are world champion banners, which is the finals.
Yep.
PT, how do you feel about them hanging a in-season tournament banner in Staples Center for the Lakers?
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and say this real quick. For y'all who don't know me, I'm a Bron fan, not a Lakers fan. I'm a Bron fan. But a banner for the in-season tournament.
Just in
It's
general.
I
it's an
think,
Adam Silver thing, bro. Like I wouldn't do it for no team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it for no team. But I think it's an Adam Silver thing for them to make the tournament legitimate. You know what I'm saying? So they want it to seem legitimized to hang a banner for winning it. I'm cool with you just giving the trophy and the MVP. I think a banner is too much, man.
I mean,
Think
I think you have to though if you're hanging up division championship banners. I get like maybe the Lakers don't do that. I don't think they do. Maybe they
They
do. I
don't.
don't think they do.
I don't think yeah they don't.
They
I didn't
don't. The
see
only thing they have hung up
I didn't see
are
any when I was out there. But I know like a lot of the arenas they hang up whether it's like basketball or hockey they hang up the division like title banners So if
Yeah.
you're hanging that
Yep.
up, you got to hang up the in-season tournament battle banner because I mean, really, it's the same. It's kind of the same value in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. I respect it.
It's really the same value. So there's not. It's like it's
I
just up
mean,
there for aesthetics.
my thing is, why are we
Yeah.
having like a banner night? Like, just hang that joint in and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's hang it up. Keep that shit moving, bro.
because
Yeah.
now they're gonna do this on a. Cause they're gonna pick a. It's December. I'm assuming that Lakers are playing on TV on December 18th because that's when they're doing it.
I'm
So
pretty
now,
sure.
so now,
It's a
so now we,
Monday.
so now we gonna have to waste time and have this whole prompt and stance, each season tournament like banner going up, and now we gonna be starting late on the game and everything. And since it's the Lakers, it's on the West Coast, so a standard starting at 10, probably gonna start at 10:30 like usual. So now instead of only watching the first quarter, I can only probably watch the first 5 minutes because I'm gonna go on to sleep. So like. I mean, no offense. I just think the whole celebration, the whole thing is like Bama's are popping like champagne and everything, like they won the NCAA tournament, all this other stuff. I was like, just be happy to get the bread and like get back to business. Like I didn't like
Right.
like BT Day. We know this like the Commissioner's Cup for the WNBA been going on for the last few years and everything, and then it was just like you play your game and then you go back to business like
Yep.
and for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So it's like
That's a
let's
good
not
that's a good
let's not
comparison, Trey. That's a good
let's not
comparison.
make it more than what it is. It's like maybe it's an extra incentive for some players and everything, and that's good. Some players need the money and everything, but we're hanging a banner in December. But we all know the most important banger is the one you hang up in the beginning of the season in October.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's
That's
why I
all I got to
said,
say.
bro, and that's why I said in the chat, bro, I better not see no Brian fans talking about like this is like a fifth ring for Brian, because it ain't,
No,
bro. We only
They
no,
already
count
started
rings
that.
in June, bro.
no,
We
They've
only
already started
count
that.
rings in
Well,
June.
I've seen
no,
haters already start that conversation talking about,
no,
this
man.
ring don't count, and then you have LeBron fans retracting themselves, talking about, this is a ring for him and whatever.
Hey, look
Now
here,
he
bro.
got
Y'all know
it's
me, bro. I keep it a stack, bro. This is not a fucking ring. This is not number 5, bro. Like he get that shit in June, bro. We not doing this. We not doing this, bro.
This ain't
It's
the layer.
dope that he was the first person to win it. I'm happy for my dog. First person to win it. We can say that. But what we're not
yeah.
going to do is say this is a fifth ring, because it's not.
I'm
Get out
gonna
of here
And
with
to
all
answer your
that.
question,
I'm gonna bring up. I'm gonna bring
Trey,
up.
they do play at home on the 18th, and they play the Knicks that night. As of
Of
right now, it
course.
doesn't show. It does
Of
not show a
course.
channel, so I'm imagining that ESPN or somebody's going to pick that up and show that game.
Yo, I'm gonna bring up the
Yo,
soccer. I'm gonna bring up the soccer comparison again, bro. When you talk about Leo Messi, you don't talk about the in-season tournaments that he won. Although he was very impressive in this MLS one that he just won this year.
He was.
But when you talk about Messi, when you talk about his legacy, you talk about the World Cup he won. You talk about the
Yep.
Champions League titles that he
Yep.
won. You talk about the Spanish La Liga titles
The La
that he
Liga
won.
titles.
You
Yep.
talk
Yep.
about how many times he beat Real Madrid. You talk about
Yep.
those things. You talk about the
Yep.
Ballon d'Or awards. You talk about the Golden Boot awards that
The
he
Keep
won.
Golden
flowing.
Boot.
You talk
Keep
about
flowing.
Keep going, Drake.
the first team all squad or whatever they call it in FIFA. Like you
Yeah.
talk about those
Yeah.
things. You don't talk about whatever in-season tournaments that Spain has. You don't talk
Nope.
about that.
Nope.
That doesn't matter. You don't talk like that doesn't matter. Just like teams like the popular teams that are very popular in the US, like Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal, Chelsea, they don't take in-season tournaments seriously. The only things they take seriously are the Premier League and Champions League. Just like in Germany, Bayern Munich, they only take Bundesliga seriously and Champions League seriously. All the in-season tournaments, yeah, it's cool if they won, but we don't talk about that. It don't matter when it comes to the legacy. The in-season tournament is just a thing that is just to give everybody a
I'm
shot
gonna
at
relate
winning
it to another sport that's even it's a single person sport. I'm gonna relate it to tennis. Nobody talks about Serena Williams winning a tournament in a random city in the middle of the summer. But when she goes and balls out at Wimbledon
And
and wins
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon, that's what we
Yep.
worry
Or
about.
the
We don't
US
worry
Open.
about we worry about the Open or the Australian or the French. We don't
It's
worry
about
about
Grand
some random
Slams.
tournament
It's about Grand
in
Slams.
some random city.
Yep. Yo, I can see it now, bro. If the Lakers don't win the championship, Bron don't win the championship, Bron fans gonna be like, well, hey, he got the in-season tournament. I'm gonna
Exactly.
be like, hey, bro.
I see it already. I see the
I
agenda
see it.
already. I'm
There's
like,
You
some
know,
nasty
I'm a
agendas
Brown
coming
and I'm
out
a
of this,
Brown
bro.
fan, bro, and I'm a
Terence
Brown
is right.
fan, but I would never say that, dog. I'm not gonna be like,
There's
well,
some
hey,
nasty
at least he won
agendas
the
about to
in-season
be
tournament
shown.
MVP. No,
Bro,
bro.
we already
man.
know that. We already know the agendas are getting crazy because you know what I saw the other day.
Oh shit.
There's one player that's won all 4 different type of MVPs, and y'all already know who that player is. That ain't LeBron. So you already know what type of agendas with these Alex Silver trophies they trying to get off with these joints, man.
Oh, here we go. Yeah,
So
here we
so so
go.
like so like they like just stop y'all like if they didn't matter to Jordan, if they didn't matter to Tim Duncan, if they didn't matter to KG, Paul Pierce, Darren Nowitzki, and them, why are we trying to make them so important now? They're
Fact.
not. They're not. We all
Fact.
care about the Larry O'Brien. It's always been about the Larry O'Brien. It's always been about that gold trophy with the basketball on top of that joint.
Mm-hmm.
It's always
Yep.
been about that trophy. If you ain't win
Always.
that trophy, you didn't win nothing that season.
Yep.
So let's cut the chatter. Let's stop these dumb debate talks. LeBron won the first in-season tournament. Congrats to the king. Congrats to him. But this business still ahead.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
Brian, he gotta get in. Like this don't mean nothing for his legacy, bro. His shit already solidified. He just has to,
Exactly.
try to get number 5. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, bro, this didn't do anything for Brian. Like
Mm-mm.
he's top. I don't know, man. He's top 3 all time, regardless with this in-season tournament or without it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
He
some
was
people say top
solidified.
2. So he was already solidified. This didn't do anything to enhance his legacy or bring it down.
Wherever
You
you
know what
had
I'm
Let's
saying?
be
LeBron
honest,
at,
bro. The Lakers are probably gonna lose this game. There's like 2 seconds left. They're
Oh no,
down.
it's a wrap. This shit been over.
They just lost, so they're 14-10. So the Lakers are currently
where they
right
stand in the
What,
now
number
going to be
standings.
5?
seventh in
Number
the
5?
West.
7? Hmm.
Number
Are they seventh in the West?
after
Wow.
14-10. So that'd be 6-7 in the
Mm-hmm.
West. Indiana is currently fifth in the West, tied for fifth in the West. So I mean, like you said, it's a cool. You won. Congrats. With the grand scheme of things, it don't matter.
It
For the
don't
It
Lakers, it
don't.
matter,
don't matter,
bro.
It
especially
really
because the
don't.
Lakers are about championships, bro. They're
Exactly.
trying to move past Boston for the most championships of all time.
Yeah.
LeBron's trying to get
Yep.
number 5, which will put him
5.
in rarefied air because only a few people have
At 5.
5 of them things. Russell,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
MJ, Kareem, Magic,
Duncan,
Kobe,
and
Kobe,
Kobe.
Duncan. Yep.
Duncan. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
And
You
let
say Robert
and
That's
Horry
let's
it.
too?
and
You
let's
said
be
Horry?
listen
Robert
and let's
Horry
be
got 7 of
completely
them
honest.
things.
And let's be completely honest. Like all respect to LeBron 80, but the 2 best performances in Vegas go to MJ and Rodman. So that's all I gotta say on
Oh
that,
my
man.
gosh. Oh my
Hey,
gosh.
Robin had
Wow.
48 hours though. Robin had
Wow.
Robin had 48 hours.
Bro, y'all niggas is wildin', son. Dre, you a wild
I
boy,
don't know where
son.
to leave that from, bro.
You a wild. I should have known
Hey,
this was gonna come up.
hey, I mean, this guy didn't perform well on the court, but I'm sure off the court, Zion put up triple doubles in Vegas.
You mean triple doubles at the
Oh God,
buffet? You mean triple bubbles at the buffet?
the
You mean
buffet,
triple
multiple
That
triple
buffets,
double or
that
2
triple
too.
different type of
He
That
buffets.
had,
My
too.
God,
triple doubles or
he
Yeah.
triple
had 10
deckers?
buffets.
because in Vegas you can pick and choose them, dog. You can pick and choose them in Vegas,
Exactly.
Yeah.
dog.
Hey, Brad,
He
They're
had
Hey, that's
Trip,
why he
everywhere,
ain't
triple
have
at the
a
bro.
buffet and the
that's why he
hotel
ain't have a
room. Let's
good
just say
game.
that.
hey, Brad, you say triple doubles or triple deckers? My bad, I can't hear you on that
Oh,
song.
my,
Now he
you're
made triple
right, Dre. You're
double.
right. My bad.
He made triple double bypass after all the burgers he ate, bro. That's what he
Oh
meant.
my gosh, bro.
He
God.
came out looking
Oh
terrible.
my gosh, bro.
I mean, at this point, I don't know what to tell him. If you're not going to listen, and the reports coming out in New Orleans that he does the same thing in New Orleans, where it's like
Well, you
he
saw they
eats
hurt
like
his
this.
feelings. You saw they hurt his feelings. He seemed a little agitated at his post conference.
Man.
Nigga, you
Well,
agitated at this point. Like, grow the fuck up. Like, realize you're an NBA player. Like, you have to do shit to
Professional.
be. You have to. We didn't get where we are in our careers if we didn't learn certain shit. Like, I didn't become a professional in IT from bullshitting all the time. Like, yes, do I bullshit? Yes, but damn it, I have to do certain shit to be called a professional. Pretty sure Dave wouldn't have a master's degree if he bullshitted in his classes. Same thing for Terence. Like, you're a professional at the end of the day. You know what is required of you. That's why they put a
Yeah.
weight. You got so bad they had to put a weight clause in your
In
contract.
your fucking
That's when you know
contract.
some shit. That's when you know some shit has gone off the rails. That is
Zion, a
pathetic.
professional freaky boy. That's what he is.
That too. That's a whole nother topic.
Hey, I
But
mean, Luka,
any man that willingly deals with Mariah Mills, especially the way she look now, man, look, man, we're not gonna get started, bro.
Hey,
hey,
that's
bro,
that South Carolina in them.
yeah, I don't know him and
South
John
Carolina
Morant.
niggas, man.
I don't know, man. It's
John
something.
Morant's still in court during his suspension. That's
They asking him
man.
about how to pass the ball in court and what is a checkup in court. I'm like, these are actual on the court docket questions that they're asking this man.
I don't know. Luka a little heavy, and he's still out here hooping. Zion? What's the excuse?
Honestly, this is the best shape Luka's been in his whole career, bro. He actually did an off-season program,
He did,
but
but he, you know,
Yeah.
he's still a little bit. Well, I guess it's his body type, though. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
But he
not
is
I
saying
in
think
it's
shape,
his.
though.
that's always
He is
been
in
He
Luka's
shape.
like
body type.
he like
Even when you go back and look at his
6'7",
Euro
right?
tape, his body type
I
has
mean,
never been like
Yeah.
I think that's
small.
just his genetic. Like unless he
Yeah,
goes
it's
from
just
like
his
Yeah.
some,
body type, bro.
unless he
It
goes from
definitely
like
is
some
just his body
crazy
type.
like
Yeah.
keto diet and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Like this is what it is. Like he literally just he's just like a where he from Paul Pierce to me. Like
yeah.
it
I
is
mean,
what it is. Like you can try as hard as
Hmm.
you can. It's just some hard. Like look at Grant Williams. Grant Williams been in the gym, but does he look like he's like a
Chisel.
Adonis looking motherfucker? No, like
No.
Yeah. Everybody
it's
can't
just
be a Westbrook type, man. You know what I'm saying? We just
yeah.
Exactly.
built like that.
Chisel
Okay.
from
I mean,
Grant. Yeah.
even Jokic, like a few years ago, he was heavier than what he is now.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're right.
yeah,
So
it's
to kind of wrap
possible,
up,
man. Zion just don't want to do the work, bro.
kind of like the NBA talk, I want to get a feel for everybody. Like post in season tournament, we're about to get in to the rest of the NBA season. You know, kind of coming out of the in season tournament, looking at the standing. You got Boston and still one seed in the East, followed by a surprising Orlando Magic team at 16-7, tied with the
Oh,
Bucks, and then a game up on the 76ers, who are 15-7 at 4 seed. In the Western Conference, I think you've got the 1 seed being the Minnesota Timberwolves, one of our fan favorites in
KC's
the
too.
group, Ant-Man. And then you got the Oklahoma City Thunder at the 2 seed, followed by Dallas, and then Denver is at the 4 seed. They've been on kind of a little slump lately with Jokic, losing a few games, not shooting the ball well. So, kind of guys, give me your thoughts of where you see the rest of this regular season going, who's guys you've been out for. Give me kind of like your kind of super early kind of prediction for MVP, who you feel like is a favorite right now.
let me say this real quick
MVP.
before we get started.
Right, go ahead.
Yeah,
Let me say
MVP.
this real quick.
Before you get started, go ahead,
Imagine
BT.
an Orlando Magic and Minnesota Timberwolves finals, bro. Just imagine
Man,
Hold
imagine
on.
that,
Absolutely
dog.
I want to
lose
meet the
shit.
guy
no,
who had that
man,
parlay.
no.
Can you
I want to
imagine
meet the
that,
man who
son?
had I want to meet the man who had that
So
parlay
calls
in
will be
Vegas.
made, bro. Scott Foster
Bro.
making some shit, bro.
Bro, I want
What?
to know to meet the man who had that parlay.
What?
Somebody
Man.
had that on a
Scott
parlay
Okay.
sitting in Vegas right now.
Guess I'll be watching some shows. I guess I'll be been watching something during that finals because
Bruh.
I see
That
y'all at the
would
Olympics.
That would be
crazy, son.
hold on. Would that be
Hey,
lower
Adam
than
Silver
the
gonna
year
bring
that I
Joey
think?
Foster back, bro.
I want to say, what is the lowest? What's the least watched finals that they've ever had? Was it the year that LeBron and the
Spurs and
Cavs
Nets.
made it? And
Spurs
It's
so
like
Nets.
Spurs Nets or Spurs
was
Cavs.
it
One of
Spurs
them
Nets?
finals.
Or Pistons
Yeah.
Spurs. Was that one?
It always involved the Spurs, bro. People don't like to watch the Spurs, bro.
Yeah, I think it was like the Spurs. I think Terence was right. I think it was Spurs Nets that year. They made it to the finals. It was the least watched finals ever.
Yeah,
If
Them
the
2000 Spurs,
Timberwolves and the
man.
Magic make it, they might beat that.
Adam
I'm pretty
Silver's not letting
sure
it happen.
he's
But
not.
They're not
on a
letting
serious
that happen.
note,
I was just throwing it out there. See y'all
Orlando's a
opinion.
nice team. Orlando's a nice team, but the thing about Orlando, they play hard, which will
Yep.
get you at least five, almost 10 wins in the regular season if you just play hard. But they're not built for the playoffs yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll make the playoffs. It'll be a nice story, but they'll be out in the first round.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Minnesota, I think, actually is built for postseason ball. So I feel like them and Oklahoma City could make more noise than Orlando just because
for
they've
sure.
been – some of the key guys have been in the playoffs. And Minnesota is actually a team that is built, I think, to deal with Denver. Probably better than any team out west. You got three big bodies you can throw at Jokic. You got McDaniels who can defend on the wing. Ant-Man's up to defensively. Conley's steady presence at the point guard. So I think Minnesota could be a threat because the West is kind of open right now.
It is.
There's really not one team that's kind of separated themselves so far. Denver has been up and down. They've had some injuries.
Mhm. Phoenix is
Boston,
12
they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But I'm telling you, it's going. I still don't trust Boston because they still at times play that analytics ball where they just jack up a bunch of threes. Milwaukee, they've been up and down. They have issues with Adrian Griffin, but I still think they're going to be right there. Philadelphia is in the mix as well. Their ball movement is better, and B's improved as a passer. He's averaging more points than he did last year and rebounds, and he's my MVP at the moment. Because you lose Harden, you deal with all that stuff, and you're still near the top of the East record wise, and you've gotten better as a player, and he's helped elevate Maxey. And Tobias Harris is actually playing good ball, and they get Oubre back, which is a huge addition to them as well. So, if I had to give an MVP right now, it'd be Embiid. You can make an argument for Luka, SGA, of course Jokic. But I mean, Ant Man's out right now. But if Minnesota keeps winning, bro, you're going to have to start putting Ant Man at least in the top 5.
I was just about to say that. Like, where's Ant-Man in this conversation with the record that the Timberwolves have? Where's he at in the MVP conversation?
Then you
Well,
got to
see, the
put him
problem
top
is
5.
Ant Man's been out for a little while.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
G.
yeah, because of it. Yeah. Dre, your
Yeah,
thoughts?
yeah, T kind of hit on a lot of things. So I guess I'm interested. I already know KD not playing tonight, but I think either between the Knicks or the Nets, we'll probably get to see Booker, Bill, and KD on the floor at the same time. So I guess from that point going forward, we kind of see if all three can stay healthy, what the Phoenix Suns truly will look like because they've been dealing with injuries pretty much since the opening game of this year and everything. So to see those three on the floor and how they acclimate everybody else around those three will be interesting. And just to see what the Pacers look like after the East season tournament. Like I said, they got the exposure. We see Halliburton growing and everything. So kind of see where the Pacers end up in the Eastern Conference when it's all said and done. And then don't sleep on these Kings. We was in our earlier episode, we was talking about what we're going to see out of the Kings because they're not going to sneak up on anybody. Well, it looks like they're handling business right now. They seem like they're a solid team again this season. So definitely going to keep watching the Kings too. Aaron Fox has been hooping out his mind. So can't wait to see what happens with that team also going forward.
So, Dave, want to follow up on anything that they got saying with your outlook for the rest of the season is post in season tournament?
Yeah, okay, like so based on the standings now, Orlando's a good story. I think they will make the playoffs. I don't think it'll be as a 2 seed. Maybe as a top 6 because the East is not strong. I mean after Boston and Milwaukee and Philly, I think Indiana will be in that top 6. They are not their ceiling right now is the first round. There were, as you saw in the in-season tournament, I mean, and really as you've seen like all season, they can put up points with anybody, but their defense is atrocious. They cannot. It's boo boo. They need to re up on that end. But they'll make the top. I think they'll be in the top 6 when it gets to playoff time. On the West is very wide open. I mean, I think Dallas. They're if there's a team that's probably going to stay where they're at, I think Dallas will end up in that top 3, either like in the 2 or 3 spot at the end by the time we get to April. I think Sacramento will be up there as well. And I'm actually, I mean, I think like when it's all said and done by the end of the regular season, I think Luka will be the MVP, or at least I think that's who the media will pick as the MVP. Just kind of based on what I predict that they'll how they'll finish and what and how Luca's pace moving forward. I like Minnesota a lot. As long as they stay healthy, I think they can get to the second round this year. I don't see them getting farther than that just because of the way their team is built. I think by the time they get to the second round, unless they're playing Denver, I don't think they'll go to the conference finals. But I mean, it'll be a step in the right direction for them. But yeah, I mean, there's it's nice seeing this mix of teams. I don't think Milwaukee's going to get it done this year. I think they just there's a problem that they have. There's something that it's not visible. It's not visible like on paper, but when you watch them, like kind of like when you watch kind of like the coaching, like kind of behind the scenes on the bench, it doesn't seem cohesive to me. I don't think Adrian Griffin can lead this team to the finals. I don't think that's going to happen this year. I think losing Terry Stotts was a bigger loss than what people think. I think people are starting to see that. I don't think he has the right line of assistant coaches on his bench, and I think that's going to hurt him moving forward unless Giannis and Dame, unless Giannis carries just like he did for Bud a few years ago. I don't see Milwaukee winning a championship this year.
Facts. I was just looking at the NBA Kia ladder for the MVP. Right now they got Joel number 1, Joker 2, Gilgeous Alexander 3, Doncic 4, and Giannis 5 as of right now.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
On the Bucks. So let's say hypothetically they go against Philadelphia in the 7-game series. I'm taking Philadelphia. Why? Coaching. Nick Nurse will draw. He'll cook up a scheme defensively, and Philadelphia has the ultimate Giannis equalizer in Joel Embiid, who can guard him straight up 1-on-1, probably bigger and stronger. You rarely see that versus Giannis. It'll be interesting. I think it will be competitive. But I mean, who do you trust in the East, though? I mean, I still don't trust Boston.
I don't trust Boston at all.
Trust Philadelphia. It's not Joel Embiid. It's really Joel Embiid. Is Joel Embiid gonna be healthy? And is Tobias Harris gonna step up in the playoffs? We know Max is gonna show up, and if Embiid's healthy, we know he's gonna show up. Will Tobias Harris be that third guy, or they're gonna have to rely on Oubre, some of the other guys? I got a question for y'all, man. One team we haven't talked about, and they don't deserve to be talked about, but they're a high-profile team. Where's the Warriors going to be by the end of the season?
On that couch.
The playoffs
currently right now, bro.
They are outside of the playoff picture right now at 10-12.
We might as well start sending in emails saying, can we interview them on the show, or we can get on Draymond's podcast, because they're going to have some free time by May. So
yeah, I see
the way they're playing.
I see them not making the play first round out, dog. If they make the playoffs, one and done.
I could see them possibly making the play-in tournament, but
exactly. If they make it, it's gonna be a step to an 8 seed, bro. They're gonna get one of them top 2 seeds, bro. It's one and done.
Imagine, okay, Golden State at Denver or at Dallas or even at maybe Sacramento again.
Or
OKC. Or
they are.
Maybe at Minnesota, possibly.
I'm about to say, at Minnesota. So, I mean,
Steve Kerr's being exposed.
Yeah. Unless the Warriors make a move that drastically change how they're playing right now, like they're playing what their record really is, and then people can say, well, Draymond missed it. I don't care about they showing you who they are. Like it's just like last year. They're showing you who you are, and everybody was hype on the whole Chris Paul thing because he's playing efficient basketball. He's helping the young core still hasn't improved. Chris Paul's already missed games. Andrew Wiggins has left the building since he won the ring in 2021, or 2022, whatever. So this is not the same Warriors team that everybody keeps thinking they're going to turn into. There's no more switch unless they make a move. Unless they make a move, because Kerry can't keep carrying this team as
Carrying
much
them.
as he
It's
did
a
like he
carry
did the
job,
past
bro.
season. So unless they make a move, and sometimes when you want to win another ring, you gotta make some sacrifices. We saw Houston Rockets did it in the early '90s when they had to get rid of Brandon Maxwell and all of them to get
Clyde
Clyde Drexler and everything.
Clyde Drexler.
We saw the Lakers have to make moves when they needed to make a championship run. We saw Boston do it. So like I understand you want to
Yep.
hold on to certain players because you feel like they need to be there with the team forever. But if y'all really thinking about winning another ring to solidify this dynasty, somebody gotta go. Wiggins, Clay, Draymond, hey, somebody gotta go because there's no
Yeah.
Robin on this team anymore. It's Batman Alfred.
It's not.
It's Batman Alfred.
Yeah,
and
this
and you
Warriors
speaking of
core
the move, what move
is
would they make? I was going to ask y'all that. Like,
There
what
are no
move
moves, in
can
my
they make at this
opinion.
point?
Since
none.
the
I'm not
Like,
Timber
taking
since
Clay.
is
the
there?
since the Timberwolves are actually doing well, there's a lot of trade market that disappeared because Cat was on the table, Rudy was on the table,
True.
some of their core
Mhm.
players on the table. But since they're the number one seed in the West right now,
That's gone.
there's no moves to be made anymore because we was saying Cat to New York, we was saying somebody making a play for maybe
Rudy.
not Ant-Man, but Rudy just to shore up their defense, like a Dallas
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. Those are off the table now because they tricked off and winning the number one seed in the West right now. So so
I heard
like
that.
this, so like
It's
it
not a move.
because even the Warriors go get a DeRozan or a Caruso, that's not helping what they need. They don't have no depth
And
in the paint.
DeRozan said,
Yeah.
I saw something that said DeRozan only wants to go to New York or Miami, so that's off the table.
And then what about? I heard
Well,
Zach
does
LaVine's.
he have control where he can go? That's so because we saw with Dane, you can say wherever the hell you want to go to, but is you going to get there?
Exactly.
But
Nah,
Dave, what'd you
style
say?
wise, DeRozan to the Warriors makes no sense stylistically at
no,
It
all.
doesn't,
it don't.
It's not
It
a good
don't.
fit.
because
Even
the Warriors need size. They don't need another shooter. They don't need
Neither
another
was
scorer. They
Chris
need
Paul,
size.
but see where they did. They just do anything.
getting someone like Zach LaVine ain't gonna help either.
No,
Nah,
that's the same thing as getting DeRozan. It's not going to help your core issue. You're too small. Every
Yeah.
time they play it, they always go back to the Warriors' lack of size. And that's not going to be fixed by grabbing another guard, or in DeRozan's case, maybe a guard/forward combo guard. That's not solving anything. As Dre said eloquently, like, they're already Paul has came in and did what? Played a couple of games, looked okay, looked serviceable, but he's old. He's washed. If he's there to help the young guys, we ain't really seen Moody or the
He's in
other,
the way
I
of
think
Kuminga.
moving.
Kuminga. Say again, T.
Chris Paul and Klay Thompson are in the way of Moses Moody at this point.
Exactly.
And Steve Kerr
And
can't
Kuminga's,
develop nobody.
And I don't know
yeah,
what's going on with
who's Steve Kerr develop, man?
nobody.
The great 4-time champion coach can't develop players
He hasn't.
because he's
Hey,
a fraud.
Mark Jackson developed some players though, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation for
Yeah.
another day. But fellas, we're gonna wrap it up with one last topic. We're gonna jump back to the NFL, and we're gonna say
Why?
for
Brad gotta get his shit off.
I gotta get
A quick rant corner. Go ahead,
it's a
Brad.
quick rant corner at this point.
No. No, we doing this. Nah, because you already said what you had to say last episode. Now I'm about to say what I gotta say. Y'all some trash for losing to the Patriots. Y'all some damn trash for losing to the Patriots. Y'all have no sense of losing to no motherfuckers at home, man. What the hell is wrong with y'all, Brad? Brad, look at me. Don't look down. Look at me, Brad. What the hell is wrong with y'all losing to the Patriots, man? This not even the damn Mac Jones Patriots. Y'all lost to the Bill Zappy Patriots. Had him out here looking like Joe Montana. Got the tie in looking like Travis Kelce.
Man,
Pre Taylor Swift. And then Juju, he looked like AB.
He mossed a few people.
yo,
He must make a
Keep going.
all-pro safety.
Keep going.
y'all better get Tomlin on a hot seat, bruh, for that one L right there, bruh.
You
That's
had-
You
sad,
told
bro.
you
had
t- you
Hunter
told
Henry
you
looking like
you told me
Travis Kelce,
Matt
bro.
Canada was the problem. Y'all said y'all get rid of him, everything will be fixed. Why you lie to me, Brad? Why'd you lie to me? Why'd you lie
Damn.
to Dave? Why'd you lie to T? Why you lie to BT? Corey not here. Why you lie to him too, man? Y'all said Matt Campbell was the issue, man. Damn, boy.
Damn.
Hey, Brad,
We're down bad right now.
blame it on Mr. Trubisky, bro. I blame everything on Mr. Trubisky.
Hey, bruh. Why did he even?
Hey,
Never mind, bro.
I will say this. The most infuriating thing I ever have seen in my life is a team that feels like it's 4th and 2. Why the hell are you taking a 30-yard shot downfield? Like, I don't think high school teams do that. And we just had the state high school championships last weekend. There's no way in hell you do that play. And then I understand Mike T is trying to cover for Trubisky, saying that, yeah, we want to go for it all or whatever. No offense, Tomlin, you're trying to shine a turd at that point. Because this is
Comments
pathetic.
like that get you fired.
Like
And
that,
like NFL like the fire a black man.
exactly.
Woo.
oh man.
I mean, the fire Tomlin train on Twitter, on Instagram, it is only accelerated after these 2 losses. You lose to a 2-10 Arizona team, and everybody kept saying you came out unprepared and you came out looking flat, and everybody's looking at you because you so-called got rid of the problem with Canada, and you had that one game of going over 400 yards, and what have you done since? Then you come out against the Patriots, who had struggled all year, did not score a point the week before, and you give up 21 in the first half. Just boom, boom, boom down the field. Minka Fitzpatrick's right. We got a lot of guys on this team that feel like they can throw on the Steelers jersey and we're just supposed to shit gold and rainbows. It's not it. Yeah, we are one of the
Ask you a
premier.
question, bro.
Yeah.
What have y'all done lately to even feel like that? I'm not even trying to be funny, but seriously.
No, that's the whole point. We have done not shit in almost 15 years to even warrant that type of mentality. The last time we was in the Super Bowl was 2011 when we beat the Cardinals. So you're talking 12 years ago. It's over a decade. As much as we rag on Aaron Rodgers for not having gone to but one Super Bowl, we ain't done shit since that. And yes, a lot of fans like to shit on the fact that, a lot of that's on Tomlin and he's had these teams. And yeah, we've had teams go 14-2, 13-3. We've had 10-6 teams that have good records and gotten to the playoffs, but we haven't gotten on the Patriots.
Yeah.
I mean, we could never get past. We would run into the Patriots, and Tom Brady would just does what he always. He would throw around.
Seems like still an issue this day. Don't matter who the QB is.
Hey, I agree. But I said it after the game. I was like, well,
the loss though was you lost to Jacksonville at home as a 2 seed.
Yeah,
that was bad.
Yeah, that was
bad.
That was bad.
But we lost to put like almost 40 points on y'all.
Yeah. Or the terrible game where we got ran off the field against the Browns and we just came out flat and the Browns jumped on us to like a 28-3 lead. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I got caught up. I talked mad shit that whole entire week leading up to that game. And then to come out like that was pathetic. We have had some clunkers, some stinkers. It's absolute garbage.
The first snap went into the end zone.
Yeah. The first snap of that game went over Ben's head and into the end zone for a safety. That's how that game started.
Like that, it's always bad.
Exactly. So everything that Dre just said is absolutely warranted because we look like shit. Don't know how but like I've talked to other people and everybody on the group chat has said, without Mike Tomlin, we look like the Panthers. Without Mike Tomlin, we are probably 1-15. We're 0-17 without Mike Tomlin. I don't know how we're 7-6, but the only reason we're 7-6 is because of Mike Tomlin. But these 2 wins, that whole I can't use a certain language, but that whole subset of the fan base that want him gone have gotten mighty loud. And if we lose, the Colts are looking okay. They're decent. But if we lose on Saturday...
I definitely got the Colts. Oh, yeah. In this point, what's the point spread? I take all that. I want to see this tomorrow. I want to see all them teams in the hunt. I feel like y'all going to be the one that trick this shit off, man. I can't... And Mike Tomlin goes under 500 for the first time in his career. Oh, we're going to revisit this. We're going to revisit this.
It's bad, Brian.
It's bad.
But just remember, bro.
It could be
Just wonder,
worse.
bro. At least
It
you're
could be
not a
worse.
Panthers fan.
It,
You could be a Panthers fan.
it could be worse,
It
bro.
could be worse.
We got fans telling people to pull up on Independence Boulevard to
Oh yeah,
fight each other, bro.
We got any updates on that? Cause past 6 o'clock.
yeah. I wanted to see the highlights. Like, I wanted to break down the fight.
Man, them
Like,
niggas ain't did. Oh wait, hold on. I can say that on YouTube. Not gonna ban me. Them niggas ain't did shit, bro.
Man, as much as I say niggas on here,
I'm about to say, I think we said niggas a whole lot
on this shit,
as
bro.
much as I say niggas on here and stuff like that, bro.
You,
Nah,
you,
bro.
you just can't talk. You just can't talk about a certain family that really supports the NFL.
Hey,
Last name started with the letter M. They got a nephew at Texas. They're speculating YouTube and NFL. You can't cut that part out. You can't cut that part out.
You can't cut this part out. You can't cut this
Yeah,
part out.
you're not cutting this part out.
Hey, NFL, you may have won the battle, but not the war, nigga. I'm doing this shit again. If I want to react to some live shit, I'm gonna react to some live shit.
Hey, talking.
Hey,
If
bro.
I want to react to some NFL games, damn it, I will. And YouTube,
Hey,
you
don't
ain't
let Adam
scared.
Silver do us like that, bro. We will have smoke for Lex Luthor ass, bro.
Oh, I cannot wait. But we gonna
Oh,
end the
man.
pod on that note, y'all. Thanks again.
Oh,
for
before we
everybody
get
that's
out,
following
before we
us.
get out of here though, before we
Go ahead,
get out of here, I gotta give a shout out to my dog,
Here we go.
Jayden
Oh, yeah.
motherfucking Daniels,
Yes.
Mr. Heisman himself. Y'all try to say, well, LSU lost 3 games, so he shouldn't be the Heisman. Man, fuck all that shit. If y'all watch LSU play this year, bro, they don't win 9 games without Jayden, bro. They 6
They
and
won
6
5.
at best. They 6 and 6
They-
at best. That's at
I say
best
worse than
without
that.
Jayden.
That's at best.
At best. You know what I'm saying? Bro, so get the fuck out of here with all that. You 9 and 3. Nah, he's not 9 and 3, bro. Like, LSU is 9 and 3. You know what I'm saying? So all y'all haters, fuck y'all niggas. My dog is the motherfucking Heisman. You feel me? Y'all, I don't give a fuck what none of y'all haters think, bro. Like I said, I got smoke for
Man,
all
let's-
y'all niggas, man. Fuck.
Man,
Oh, BT, you went out.
nah, we can't talk no more college football, bro. I'm gonna go on a rant, bro. In this episode,
We're gonna have to say we're gonna have to save that for. We're gonna have to end it on.
Another
I'm
day.
about to say, I'm not getting too
Man,
fired up
fuck
about
the
college
ACC,
football right
bro.
now.
Fuck the ACC, bro.
Here we go.
Fuck Kirk Herbstreit. Fuck his dog.
Hey,
Brad, do your damn job, bro. Do your damn job, Brad.
And we're gonna end it. We're gonna end it.
Feinbaum.
We're gonna end it right there before we get
Fuck
Pete
Booth
fired up.
Morgan. Fuck NC State, bro.
Hey, Brad. Hey,
We're
wave
gonna
him
wrap it
down,
up,
bro.
guys.
Wave him down.
We're gonna wrap this up. Thank y'all for following us. You know,
Cue the music, Dave. Cue the music.
Hey, before we get out of here,
we're gonna get out of here. Follow us on all social media platforms, wherever you get your podcast at. We're on X / Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Wherever you find us at. Make sure to see YouTube. And as always, 2004 for out.
podcast, iHeartRadio,
Yes.
all the
Free us from the ACC, bro.
Anywhere you get your pod. If you want to hear T rant some more, follow us on YouTube. If you want to hear us
Drake,
talk
bro, I'm ready
all
for
that
that Big Ten money, bro. What's good with the Big Ten,
if
dog?
you want to hear us make more fun of the Steelers, catch us on our next videos. We are out of here. Like, share, subscribe. It's the holiday season. Make sure you share with your family, friends, side chicks, side dudes, your baby mamas, baby daddies, whoever likes sports. Share with all of them. You dig?
We were supposed to be gone 5 minutes ago. See. We so.